We are going to get into some good stuff in this video for sure. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing from male center to centering me. And it's just going to kind of be a video revelation, so enjoy, get some popcorn, get a snack, and let's go ahead and dive into this topic. So I when I started this channel, it was initially for simply like feminine tips, and just honing that energy, just figuring out what that even means, right? And I enjoy every second of that. And when I look at where I'm taking the channel as of recent, it's very interesting to see its evolution as I change as a woman and my interest in the things that I'm learning, hopefully along with wisdom. Yes. So that was the start of this channel. Now, from male centered to centering me, how did we get here? First, I want to make this as a cautionary tale to any women who may not know that this is them, because honestly, if I were to see this video a year ago, even 6 months ago, I would say that is not me. She is not me. She needs to do better. But here we are, from male centered to centering me. It started with having an interest in just appearing attractive to the opposite sex. And I think that's where it starts for. I'm sorry I keep laughing. I just find this entire topic so entertaining. I think for the majority of women, we start at that sector of just wanting to be attractive to the opposite sex or just a certain person that you like. I don't know. Your story, your business, but that was my experience. And little by little, I don't know, somewhere along the line, it became addictive. Okay, I'm going to be serious. It became addictive. The the attention became addictive from not just people, but men. And that is a slippery slope. That is a dangerous place to be, ladies. Listen to me. So, yeah, it started with that. And I just started feeling like it was a high of, okay, I can, I do this and I get this amount of attention. It became a tit for tat, if this, then that thing. It was no longer just me wanting to do this just for me. And I can say at this point, the recording of this video, that it's a revelation for me. There's a lot of unlearning, deprogramming that I am currently doing. And so I want to share with you guys so that you can learn from me. That's what this channel should be for. We can collectively just get out of our own way. So let's talk about dating, right? Pretty fun when um you start to do better. Pretty fun when you know how the opposite what the opposite sex likes. Okay, cool. But there comes to a point where if you are that type of woman who that is literally all that matters to you, you're going out and all you can think of when you're out at a bar or you're out having lunch or you're out living your life is what man's attention you could get or who is going to approach you. My friend, I'm just gonna hold your hand if you don't mind. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You are so male centered and it's not cute. And listen, I'm with you, okay? I was with you. We're deprogramming. But basically, it comes to a point where if you're upset that someone doesn't approach you while you're out, friend, we got to do better. God does not call us, and I don't want to make this a religious video about my faith, but I am Christian, and God does not call us to center um, anybody in our lives except Him as the foundation. And a lot of times, what I've found is the centering around anything else but a higher power outside of me always leads me to feel like I'm gonna have to control things and to put in an insane amount of effort that God never even required me to do. And it's crazy because all that comes from obedience. If you are obedient, you won't have to worry about all the things that come with not paying attention or not listening. You know what I mean? Like, breath moment. So yeah, from male centered to centering me. Now, I know I just talked about a religious orientation, but this is legit a self love motivational type of talk here. I want you to know that you can center your love for yourself. And because you love yourself, you're able to go to God and come to Him and just be able to not feel like your whole life is revolving around a man. So, but I'm not saying that now. For one thing, I do want to say like that was not 100% my MO, but I started to notice that because it was definitely an interest of mine at one point to like an absurd extent. It became a large part of a lot of what I did. Now, it took not getting what I wanted. It took God intercepting what I thought I wanted for me to realize, wait a second, I've been doing this wrong the entire time at my grown age. And I like that because I feel that if those things don't happen, we will never learn from our mistakes. If you are someone who is watching this right now and you're like, wow, she's talking about this and I'm seeing myself in this, there's healing coming for you. Just be ready. It's gonna be an interesting process, but I think you're built for it. And if you're interested in deprogramming, you got this. It's going to work out. It will be okay, trust me. For me, I just started to think like, what does my life outside of dating look like? For you, I encourage you to ask yourself, what does my life look like outside of my man? Do I have interest of my own? Some people don't. Some women don't. And that's male centered. If you don't have a hobby or passion and your entire life pretty much revolves around a relationship or a man, and like it's not even just the fact that you're trying to make your partner happy, because I think that's normal. You should, once you are with someone, try to maintain that relationship. Your interest should be to some extent making them happy. A lot of times women will get in relationships and in the beginning they'll have their friends, they'll have their hobbies, they'll have their passions, and once you get into a rhythm of that bond, they start to slowly let all these things go. Red flag. You're finding yourself no longer doing the things you used to do, like getting dressed, doing your makeup, and things like that. Red flag. Also, if you're dating a man, this is another male centered habit that I had to deprogram. If you're dating a man, he's like, all of a sudden, he's like, I don't like you in this. Like, I like women who do this. And you actually do that? I want you to go on the YouTube search bar, type in clown makeup tutorial, okay, and go put that on. Because that is what you look like when you change for a man. It's not something that is attractive at all. To say this and on camera is very refreshing and healing, because it's like at one point I never ever thought that I was that girl. But it was revealed to me that in my conviction, it was revealed to me that yes, you were indeed that girl, just different fonts. But I don't like the term pick me, because I feel that it's just a way to demonize women and pit us against each other. It's just a way to pit women against each other. And so I don't really like that term, but I will say male centered for me resonates, because it's like, yeah, men are great, but, and then also, if you're male centered, I want you to know that males, guess what? Males are flawed just like us, if not a little more. No offense. I love all people. We're all God's creations. But it comes to a point where you have to really take that man off the pedestal and realize, wait a second, you're human. And not only are you human, you're flawed. And when you realize that, it will really just take the pressure off of you to be something to be consumed. Because I think a lot of us see ourselves through the eye of the male gaze. And this causes us, it warps our brain in a way to kind of behave in a way that men would see us through their eyes. That sounds so crazy to say. Like, from there's this movie. It has Monica Bellucci in it, and I know you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I think it's Pretty Woman. I'm not sure, but that movie made me cry because it just it was really impactful to see on screen, like how a lot of women really do. We have this heavy feeling of how are we perceived by the male gaze or just males in general, and it causes a male centeredness within to be expressed because it's like you want to be desired by the opposite sex. That's normal. God made man for women and women for man, so it's normal to want those things, but it just can't be the focal point of your life. It will make you miserable, and if you have a partner, you probably won't after centering your life around this man. I'm sorry. It's crazy, y'all. It's real crazy. From male center to centering me. So another thing that helped me is coming to terms with the fact that men won't necessarily love or agree with everything that I do, but I'm still going to do it anyway, especially if it makes me happy, especially if it makes me feel my most best version of myself. I'm not going to allow someone to come in and try to change that. Like, if I was a whole person by myself before I met you, I'm going to be a whole person after the situation, or even if you and this person happen to get married and have a future together and a family, you come into this world alone, you leave alone, you are your whole own person. Even in a covenant, of marriage, you're still your own person. Yeah, things change a little, but again, you come in alone, you leave alone. So it's like, I'm not going to allow someone to come in and try to tweak things about me or try to tell me that they don't believe that I should be this way, because that is not the purpose of a relationship anyway. You shouldn't be trying to be with someone to change them. Ladies, if you think it's okay for a man to tell you to stop doing something and you stop doing it just for him, that's definitely not okay. Just if you have something that you like and let's say your man doesn't like it, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It is your passion, it's what you enjoy, and it shouldn't matter to him. And I think that you will be respected more if you stand your ground, stand your boundaries, and do what you like, regardless of whether or not this man agrees with you, because we need to take them off the pedestal. There's this saying, and you've probably heard of it, called act like a lady, think like a man. When you think how they think, and I know this is like a little introspective, but just walk with me for a second. When you get in the minds of the opposite sex, it makes you realize that certain things that you think are winning this person over is actually driving them away. For example, if you're not okay with space, or if you're not okay with your own being alone in your own presence, I'm sorry to say, but you could be male centered, or maybe you just have a problem being alone in your own space. That's something you can definitely work on. But men don't like to be all close hugged and all this affection and all this. No, they don't. And that is what helped me deprogram my male centered ways, because guess what? I like my space too. And to finally feel like the right person will accept me for that about myself, which is I do enjoy, my alone time from time to time. That made me feel so much more at peace within, realizing that the right person will not make me feel bad about that, or the right man would never, try to change that about me. I know if you find yourself, let's say, if you're dating someone new and all of a sudden you find yourself feeling anxious or like nervous, I hate to be extreme, but you may need to get rid of this person, because you shouldn't be feeling anxious around anyone, especially not men, because like I said, they're flawed just like us. So if you're feeling that way, it's probably because you feel less than around them, or something they're doing doesn't make you feel safe in your body. And that to me is a red flag. Red flag. get rid of him if you can. If not, definitely distance yourself so that you can get some peace of mind and clarity on the situation by going to God about this man. Because if he is making you feel nervous or insecure, like you can't let your guards down or be yourself, I'm sorry, don't chase him. You need to draw back and draw closer to God and hopefully get rid of this man if he really isn't the one or he really isn't a good guy. And our intuition will tell us this. So a male centered woman will ignore her intuition and still try to stay with the man and do more for him, even though the situation's clearly not going in her favor. She's not getting treated the way she wants to be treated. She's going to choose to stay with that man versus just simply removing herself from the equation entirely and focusing on God or herself. But a woman who is non-male centered will see this, immediately take a course of action to correct it, whether that's a leave of absence suddenly, leaving him alone, or just, like I said, increasing the distance so that they can, because if you put a mirror up to people, a lot of times we don't like mirrors, okay, especially men. And if you kind of show that their behavior is bothering you by simply not reacting but just moving accordingly, it'll help you become less male centered. You won't be so afraid of losing a man because at the end of the day, there are plentiful men out there, plentiful, eligible, nice men who would want to treat you right. And if you hold on to something that isn't for you just to say that you have something, you really don't have anything. What you have is someone who is not treating you correctly and is probably, it could be using you. So I'd rather be alone. I'm at the point in my journey of losing and deprogramming of male-centered ways of that. I'd rather be alone than to sit and wait for a man to give me something that God will provide for me. God is my provider. I don't need to be stressed about that. And that's another thing. Releasing the need to secure a man just for finances, because it's like God will provide for you. You don't have to worry about any of that. And if you're truly set in your path and you're really being obedient, God will bless you in ways that you could never even have imagined. Truthfully, honestly. Doing nice things for myself just because, making things girly just because, yeah, it might seem stupid to your your average guy or just a guy, but I don't care if it seems stupid. It helps remind me that I am important, I'm worthy, and at the end of the day, that is really what matters, is you realizing your worthiness and what you contribute. And just being a woman, the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So really, you are the good thing, you are the blessing, and you shouldn't have to be centering men around your life anyways, because God already says you are the table. So what more do you need? What more do you need? Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a little all over the place, so we'll see how the editing goes. But just thank you so much for watching and being on this journey with me, and just me sharing parts of my story with you guys so you can better get to know me and learn things too. But I really liked filming this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with a friend if she needs to hear it or he needs to hear it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.